right? It's not by marching. It's not by practicing and participating in Juneteenth. It's not by voting for the so-called white man. Bring that up.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
What?
It shall make you free.
It'll keep you in bondage.
It shall make you free.
The truth is going to set you free, sister. That's what it is.
I am free.
You are. You're free here in America.
Yeah, I don't think it matters where I am. As long
Well,
as
spiritually, you can be, under, certain, different religions and ideologies. You can be free from that. But in a carnal sense, now I'm asking, are you free in America?
I wouldn't say we completely free. We still in some type of bondage, but because of who I believe in and how faithful I am to my belief, no, I'm not living this life according to carnal things. So if I'm free spiritually, and what happens here, these are not my battles. My battles are bigger than what the world can see. If I'm with Jesus and I believe in Him and I follow Him, then that's the life that I live.
Well, sister, there's certain battles we have to say. There's spiritual battles we gotta fight. There's certain demons, like I say in James 4th chapter, right? Certain things we gotta fight spiritually, but there's also things we have to fight physically, right? We gotta fight our flesh, right? We gotta fight our flesh. We gotta, deal with certain people at work. We gotta deal with our people being destroyed.
You don't think they correspond?
They're one and the same in a way, but at the same time, you got spiritual battles and you got physical battles, right? What we're telling you now, you gotta fight both of them.
But what is the flesh without the spirit?
No, bring that up. Well, we got you, sister. Bring out what I asked for. God.
Hey, somebody post up over there. Somebody post up.
Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 57. All right, you bring yours out. What you got?
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8, and it reads, Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
Right, we're yet this day in our captivity, right? It's a real thing that we're trying to paint in your picture or paint in your head that we're here in Babylon, Egypt, right? We have to serve our enemies, right? And the only thing that can really spiritually let us free and alleviate us of that pain and some type of suffering. Hold on. Some type of suffering is by keeping the commandments. That's what's going to set us free. And you said, why do we have to serve our enemies? Isaiah 5 and 13.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, and verse 13. And it reads, Therefore, my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge. And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
Right. Break it down.
All right, so we went into captivity because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments of our God. So in order to reverse the curse that we're in, when it tells you the curses that we went through in Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68, all those curses, that's how you know we fit them. Because we went through the curses, and that's how we know we're the Israelites. Hold on. In order to reverse the curses that are happening upon our people, we have to return back to our God by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments that He gave us. The law, statutes, and commandments you're going to find in the book of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and Numbers. There's 613 of them. We have to return back to our God by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
Yeah, that's true.
And every time we didn't keep them, when you read the scriptures, we fell into captivity. Right? That's why I said, read it one more time.
It's a cycle.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, and verse 13. And it reads, Therefore, my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge.
They have no knowledge, right? They don't have any recollection. They don't really care for the laws, statutes, commandments, like the brother was saying. Bring that up.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 5. The word of God, the Most High, is the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments.
Right, if you want real wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you gotta seek out the book of the Lord, like it's in Isaiah 55 and 6. That's what you have to do.
Exactly. Let me bring this out. So we want to find out what knowledge is, right? This is the book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7. He says we have no knowledge. Our people have no knowledge, right? What's knowledge? This is the book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. Knowledge is the law. And our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because we don't know the law. That's why we have to return back to the law. How you gonna know what sin? Like our people, they know sin is bad, but they don't know what sin is. Sin is the transgression of the law.
We're gonna break it down. Bring this up.
It's the book of Job, chapter 28, verse 28. And unto men he said, Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding.
That's understanding and knowledge. But our people don't have that. Right? They don't understand how to fear the Lord properly. They don't know how to put on fringes. They don't know how to keep their beard grown. Our sisters don't know how to put on dresses. Right? They don't have that. Because they've been in America for so damn long. Right? They've been calling themselves African Americans, niggas, celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Birthday.
Right? So we fell far from the apple tree. We fell far from our original source, which is the Bible.
Right.
So in Deuteronomy 22 and 5, it says, basically, bring it up.
This is a commandment by our God pertaining to the woman and the man, actually, both. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 5, and it reads, The woman shall not wear that which pertains unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Right, so a woman can't put on man's garments. Neither can man put on a woman's garment.
Right.
Meaning what? Women have to put on what now? What do women have to put on? In order
According to the
modestly?
Bible,
Yeah, dress modestly.
she should just be covered up. She should wear skirts. She should cover her head.
That's right.
Skirts, dresses, and modestly, and covering her head. You had it right.
So they gotta wear dresses.
You know, we're just,
I mean, men should never wear dresses.
man ain't supposed to.
So what's something men wear that women wears?
So,
Pants. Women shouldn't wear pants.
so, like overseas, right? Say in Nigeria, they wear. It's not called a dress, but it looks like a dress. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know the name of the garment.
Hijabs, those long
Nah,
things.
hijab is what go around your head. I'm talking about the garment that they wear. I don't know what it's called.
You talking about Arabic woman or African woman?
African men and women wear it.
What about them?
It's not pants. It's not pants. It's
Oh, a
draped
garment?
down. It's draped down like a garment. It's not pants.
Okay.
So that's different from.
Well, there's still a discrepancy between the two because men traditionally they'll wear the pants and they have a long garment on.
Right, I get what you're saying. You
Right.
want to tailor it to where we are now and to the culture we have adapted to today. I get what you're saying.
Well, we're saying we gotta stray away from that. We gotta
Yeah, I
get
get
away
what
from that culture that we've been, born in.
Have been taught, yeah.
Right. So the men, they wear pants and they have a long garment on. But when they can wear, a dress, they can't wear pants. They can wear leggings when it's real cold out, but they have to, wear a dress over it.
Over it. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I grew up in a church like that.
Yeah. But they didn't tell you that she was Israelite. So how profitable is that church?
They was. I mean, I feel like churches here right now. Yeah, it's very washed down. But I mean, that's why, and also in the Bible it said, "Do not stand in the faith." Do not stand in the faith of man's wisdom, but in the power of God. Which to me means that if you really want to know the truth, you got to seek God and become who He has called you to be. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times that consists of you. That consists of you studying the Word, fasting and praying, and that can get you and teach you way more than what any man could teach you. Even you, even though I'm not saying you're teaching me the wrong thing.
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? I could learn on a more natural level. You know what I'm saying? And what he really want me to know, which is important. I feel like, and which I feel like we far from. You get what I'm saying?
Right. We got something.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, and verse 1. And it reads, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
What did the Lord call us to do? He called us to keep His commandments, right?
Right. And to serve Him, right?
Right, and we got to make haste doing it. Meaning, after today, we're going to put on a dress. Is that something you can hurry up and say, I got to hurry up and serve the Lord? I got to hurry up and, acknowledge Him. I need wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I'm put on my dress, I'm going to pray, fast. I got to do what I got to do. Are you going to make those steps?
Let me say this. Right, steps. That's the key word. Because nothing happens like this, except for when he spoke life into the world, right? Because only he have the power to do that. But I feel like us as humans, he know us, and he know that. Can we change just like this? Yeah, we can if he put that in our spirit, and if he put his spirit over us to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like even from who I used to be, it was not. I didn't change just like that. But he convicted me. You know what I'm saying? To know the truth and to know which way I should go, which led me to where I am today. Is there still things I have to work on? There's still places that I have to evolve in. Yeah, of course. But that's us. We're human. We're not perfect, and that's why he came. Jesus came and died and gave us grace. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, are we to abuse that grace?
No, we're not. But
Bring
to
this up
learn
real
from
quick.
it. To learn from it.
That's right.
All right, sister, what you're saying is right, but you can't make no excuse about it. You have
I'm not making that
Hold
excuse.
up. You gotta jump on it, sister. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 59. And it reads, I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies.
Right.
Hold up. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
I made haste. He hurried up. He had to, let me hurry up and do what I gotta do.
You hear it,
right?
you
When
jump on
Yahweh
it.
was on the cross, he had the two malefactors. Right? He said, do you believe him? He said, yes. He made haste. He said, I believe him. Right? Now, if he could have got down off that cross, I'm sure he would have put on his fringes, stopped eating pork, right? Stopped doing what any, whatever type of manner of evil he was doing, right? Being a thief, things of that nature. So we have to make haste.
You know,
Right.
you're right. Considering how great he is, and considering what he came here to do for us, we should be hasty. We should make haste about it, and we should be, we should be quick about how we act in regards to him and his saving grace. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is true. That is very true.
Check this out. You love God, right? You do?
Yeah, I do.
All right, this is the book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 3. And it reads, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous. So if you love God, you're going to keep his commandments.
And they're not grievous. It's not hard to keep. Just put on the dress. Right?
That's not hard.
Leg by leg, right? That's all.
That's not hard. But what I'm saying is, what you saying is right, right? But considering who we are today and how we are today, like this is no excuse. It's no excuse whatsoever. But the relationship, and I know this sounds cliche, but the relationship that I have with God, you know what I'm saying? He know me, but how you see me is different. And what I'm saying to you is differently from what he know about me. You know what I'm saying? So even by me getting this word from you today could go and change my way of thinking, like, dang, he was right, because I read it before in the Bible and I know about this in the Bible. So why aren't I doing it? Even though I read the word, even though I pray and I fast, honestly, I'm still sinning, because honestly, it's still commandments in the Bible that I know about that I'm not doing. So yeah, you right about that. But I feel like he put certain people in your path for certain reasons. You know what I'm saying?
We got you. We understand that. Grace is to what? What is grace for? What is the purpose of grace?
For our salvation.
Bring it out.
It's the book of Titus, chapter 2 and verse 11. And it says this, for the grace of God that bringeth salvation,
Wait. What does grace bring?
that brings salvation, hath appeared to all men,
Right, go on.
teaching us that
Teaching us what? What does grace actually teach us?
denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly.
Right, what's righteous? What's righteousness? The law, statutes,
way-
commandments.
any way of
And
God.
Deuteronomy 20, hold on. Righteousness is the law, statutes, commandments, right? And what's in Deuteronomy 22:5? A commandment that we have to keep, right? So the Lord gave us grace so we can make haste, right? So we can get ourselves right, get ourselves together, not to abuse it. Because a lot of our people abuse it to the point where they say, I'll wait until later. They put off the Lord day to day, right? And a result of that, that's being lazy, and that's abusing the grace. That's really not loving Heavenly Father.
And grace, right? Okay, think about this. Think about this. He gave us a grace period to return back into him, right? Right. All right, so in that grace period, think about it. You have an apartment, right? And the rent is due on the first of the month. You don't have it right away. They give you a grace period. Does that mean in that grace period, if you don't have it, okay, let's say they give you 2 weeks. In that grace period, you still gotta pay that money. What happens in the grace period, if the grace period runs out and you don't pay that money, your ass gets kicked out. So when the Father in heaven comes back and you didn't return back to do what he told you to do, which is keep those commandments, and his grace period, your ass is gonna perish. It's that simple.
Yeah, are you gonna wait, after the days that he gave you that grace and say, I'm still gonna wait longer and longer? No, you're not gonna abuse that grace. You're gonna do what you have to do. All right?
And let me bring this out too. You say you have a relationship with God, but this is what the Bible says when a person has a relationship with God. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him. That's right. So you have a relationship with God if we keep his commandments. What? He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments is a liar. What? And the truth is not in him.
So you don't want to be found a liar, right? You got angels around you. You got angels right over there behind you. You got the Heavenly Father watching. Yahweh is watching, who the word ignorant calls Jesus Christ. You don't want to be found a liar or a hypocrite, right? So we can't abuse the grace.
So let me say this. So is it because you see me without a dress on, is that you say I do not keep the commandments? But if I came here with a dress on, you would not know which commandments I did not follow.
Well, that's why we ask you. That's why we bring out the laws, statutes, commandments.
Right, now I appreciate you for bringing that up.
Because we didn't know if you ate pork or not, but we still brought it out, right?
Right.
So that's why we're bringing out everything. We're bringing out the whole roll.
You should. And
so that's what it is. That's the word.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth though. His word, but it's so.
How y'all doing, brother, sister? What's your nationality?
It's so strict how it is that if you it's strict. When I say strict, I mean it's like this. He said what he said. He meant what he said. That's strict, right? And he mean what he say. And coming from, if not saying me per se, but from as a community, coming from a household or a community who do not know God, it's not gonna just be like that for the people to turn around. Right. Which means when you say to make haste, I understand what the Bible is saying because I believe in it fully and wholly. It's all the truth. But for a person who do not know God at all, and they hear of these things, I also understand that if the Spirit come over to you and you hear it, right? If you truly hear it and God has caused you to hear it, you follow it and you start to change, but it's a gradual change. It's not just like this.
We'll break it down like this on a spiritual level, on a high spiritual level, right? On a high spiritual fold, we understand if the word come out, they come closer, they hearken, right? You have to elect us all predestined. But on a carnal level, right, they still have to make haste. You got to make haste. That's what it is.
So basically you're saying, what I'm able to change now, let me change it now, but all the things that need to be worked on.
Yeah, we're not saying,
That's what you're saying?
we're not saying be perfect overnight, but we're telling you, layman's terms, try right now, right? That's all. Right? If your teacher tell you to go study, she's not telling you to study right now. She's telling you we can go home, study, make time to study. Right? When you have leisure, do it. Right?
Another thing, sister, we just want some good positions too, but we made haste. Yeah, your possession, we knew certain things, but we didn't take it seriously.
I'm not taking it seriously.
You're not, because if you was taking it, sister, if you was taking it seriously.
How you know after I hear this word today, I won't go and.
You say you know you say you know some of these commandments, but you're not keeping them. That means you're not taking it seriously. That's what I mean by it.
And let me tell you this, sister. Let me tell you this. Point blank period, make haste.
Right. So you can't really say I'm not taking it serious. What if today, after I heard this, I needed to hear it in order for...
Just make haste, sister. The Lord said make haste. Would you make haste? Or are you going to say no, Lord, or yes, Lord? Which one are you going to say?
I always say yes.
Right. So that's it. That's
but
what
say
it is.
if this is right now, him bringing to my attention, giving me more understanding and light to the situation, what if that's his approach to me, saying this is what you need to do?
Right, we understand it's a stepping process, right? But making haste, you gotta make that first step, that's all. We're not telling you to be perfect overnight. We're just telling you to keep the commandments to the best of your ability right now. For an example, you had the two malefactors I brought up earlier. Did he say, I think I should believe on you? He immediately said, I believe that you're Yahweh, right? He made haste, right? You have to believe the words that are coming out of this book. Hold that. Go to John 6 and 63, right? Because again, we didn't make up these words. We didn't make up this writing. It's all coming from the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
And ultimately, it's Yahweh speaking to you. We're just reading the words out the book. Bring that up.
This is the book of John, chapter 6 and verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
Right, they're spirit and life. They should quicken. You should make you alive now.
Which is what I just said. Right.
Now that you're alive, what does that mean? You gotta what?
Make haste.
Make haste.
but that's what I've been saying.
Okay,
I
all
feel like we
praise.
saying the
Okay,
same
okay,
thing,
all
bro.
praises. Then you're making haste. All praise. What about the Sabbath day? You know, Friday sundown and Saturday sundown. That's the Sabbath.
Friday, the Sabbath day and Saturday.
It's Friday sundown and Saturday sundown.
What do you mean? Explain it more. What's your
We got you.
question?
It's the book of Genesis. This is when the Sabbath starts, sister. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 5. All praises. And it reads, and Yahweh called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. So the first day starts right at the evening time. So the Sabbath will start Friday evening. That's the beginning of a new day.
On a new day?
Yeah, not at
So
midnight.
if I'm fasting,
All right, go ahead.
if I'm fasting, I should start that evening and call it a day the next evening.
Yep.
That's exactly what we're about to bring out.
Man, she catching on.
Bring this out.
I mean,
This your son right here, sister?
I can't see it.
no, that's not.
Oh, your cousin? Okay, that's what's up. She catching on. I hear it. I get YouTube channel, sister.
Yeah, you gave me this paper right here.
Check the videos out, sis. How you doing, your mom? Eli.
All right, we'll bring out a precept. Bring out Judith, the 8th chapter in the first verse.
This is the book of Judith, chapter
So,
8.
first, we're going to bring this out. This Leviticus 23 and 28. Let me start at verse 7. 27. Okay. All right, you bring that out.
Judith 8 and 1? 8 and 1? Yes. This is the book of Judith, chapter 8 and verse 1. And it reads, now, at that time, Judith heard thereof.
You can start verse 6. So you can start verse 5.
All right. This is the book of Judith, chapter 8 and verse 5. And it reads, and she made her a tent upon the top of her house, and put on sackcloth upon her loins, and wear her widow's apparel. And she fasted all the days of her widowhood, save the eves of the Sabbaths, and the eves of the new moons, and the new moons, and the feasts and the solemn days of the house of Israel.
She understood the evening, that's the beginning of a new day, right? So she didn't want to fast on the Sabbath, right? Which is Friday sundown at evening to Saturday sundown at evening.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls. And the 9th day of the month at even, from even to even, shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
Read it again.
From the whole verse.
Yeah.
Okay. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls. And the 9th day of the month at even, from even unto even, shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
Even and even.
Right. That's Leviticus.
Yep. That's for the Day of Atonement. But if you fasting, you should always, do whenever you can, as long as it's a full day, right? 24 hours, right?
I feel like, or whatever he put on your spirit, to be honest.
And that's why I just say, if you do it at 12 o'clock, right? Your fast gonna end tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Right, okay. Yeah. That's what I already know. But I get what you're saying.
But specifically for the Day of Atonement, it's evening and evening.
And the Sabbath as well. That's when the Sabbath start. The Sabbath start in the evening because that's the beginning of a new day. So Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. That's the Sabbath.
Right. You got any questions, sister? What's your nationality?
What is my nationality?
What's your nationality? If it's not black or African American,
Bro, you say it's Israelite. It's Israeli, right?
no, it's Israelite. The scriptures telling us it's Israelite. That's what the scriptures telling us. It's Israelite.
Well, how about this? Let me continue to study as I've been doing and praying as I've been doing and take heed to what he want me to know. What y'all saying, what y'all doing out here is real good. For real, y'all got a lot of courage and a lot of spirit to be out here. I'm not saying nothing y'all saying out here is wrong or nothing like that. But like I said, stand in the power of God, you know what I'm saying? And that takes for me to go home and take what you said and listen to God for myself as I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? And continue to grow.
All right, sis. We got the
The
YouTube
next
channel
time you
too.
see me, you're gonna see me.
All right. You gonna say Israelite, right? You
How can I
understand
tell
Huh?
the days of my future?
Obviously, we
Lord
understand
willing.
that. We
Lord
understand
willing.
that. We understand that.
Lord
sister.
willing.
All right.
Right.
So we got the YouTube channel, right? You got to wear the dresses. As let's with the Lord. Put down the pork. Got to worship. Observe the Sabbath day.
How do you feel? How do you feel about like foul language?
Well, there's no scripture or book that says you can't cuss.
There's no law.
Now
There's
bring
no
out 1 Corinthians 15:33. Bring out 2 Corinthians 11:6.
What's foul language? When
Well,
they say foul
well,
language?
you got foul language. You got like crass language. Like if I call somebody, you gotta remember first and foremost, words are words, right? They all kind of made it up, right? Like if I say, "Oh, he acting like an asshole," it's just a word. Okay, does that make sense so far? Now, in modern day terms, that can be seen as rude, right? But we understand it's just a word at the end of the day, right? Bring this.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners.
Right, that's not talking about, cussing. That corrupts good manners. That's just talking about like wicked talk, right? Wicked conversations.
It's wicked company. Being amongst wicked people.
That
It's
doesn't.
gonna
Hold
corrupt.
We got you. Hold on.
2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 6. But though I be rude in speech, yet in knowledge.
You see how he was rude in speech, right? But not in knowledge, right? This is allowing us to understand that it doesn't really matter, words are just words, right? Now, although certain words can be crass, it's time and place to speak to people,
They could be what?
right? Huh?
They could be what?
Crass, rude, coarse, right?
Okay.
Rough.
Got you. I just needed another word.
In the commandments, it doesn't say that thou shalt not use profane words or thou shalt not cuss. So think about it, sister. When somebody says you're an ass, right? Okay. And then somebody says you're a butt, that's the substitute of ass, right? Or the substitute of hell is heck, right? Or the substitute of fuck is freak, right? So, but who defined and said that those words were bad? Who made that up? They're just rude words. They're just words. They're rude words, but they're words. It's not in the commandments that you can't say that.
So what if it's offended to the people around you though?
They shooting us down.
Hold that, 122. You said what if they what?
It's offended to the people around you. Should you still use that language? Even though they were confident and bold in how they spoke in the testaments, right?
Right.
It's not like they went around cussing people out. They were speaking the truth. But when you went around, like you don't go around cussing me out, using all
That's why I
these
said it's
foul
time and place
words.
for everything. You gotta read the spirits and try the spirits by the spirits. Bring this up.
Jude chapter 1 and verse 22. And some have compassion, making a difference.
Right, certain brothers you gotta have compassion with. Yo, you got a minute. Next one is you. Come on, brother.
And others save with fear.
Right, others you gotta say with fear. I mean, you gotta be kind of rude in speech like Paul was.
Stern.
Right?
Yeah.
Stern,
And
diligent,
Yahushua.
austere. That's how our forefathers was. That's being rude in speech. Right now, we understand, you can't speak to everybody like that. Like it says, let me bring this up real quick.
This is the book of Colossians chapter 4 verse 6. And it reads, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man.
So it's all about discernment, right? You got to use wisdom, knowledge, understanding of who you're speaking to, how you're talking to certain people, right? You got to understand and read the room.
Yeah.
That's an actual, gift. Not every brother can read the room. You got to read the room.
Yeah. Like for example, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, he spoke to people. Some people he spoke with, a low matter tone, very nice and kind. Those that that were there to hearken to him and be humble. But others that were acting like niggas, he was cussing them out. He was calling them dogs, serpents, vipers. So you have to understand, like the scripture says, you know how to answer every man according to their countenance.
That's right.
Right.
Does that answer your question?
Kinda, yeah. I get where you're going with the scripture.
Okay. Yeah, so
Well, it
that's
makes
language
sense.
out the scriptures. Yeah, brothers, kind of getting on brothers.
You said
You got
what?
sisters getting on sisters in the scriptures. All right? It was, they were saying certain things like viper and fox. We call you a viper and fox, you were saying, I'm not an animal. What are you talking about?
But I feel like
Right.
that was
It's
good.
different.
That was good, honestly. How they spoke to people in those days because it called out the spirits of iniquity in those people, and it called them to truth.
Well, that's the same thing that's happening now.
Yeah, it is.
Right? We say, brother,
I
wake
guess
the
it's
hell
just
up. Brother,
different.
pull
It's
up
a
your damn
different
pants.
It's modern day.
Right?
It's modern.
It's a different time. It's a different time.
Right.
It's modern day rude speech.
You got any questions, sister?
Oh man, it's nice talking to y'all.
What's your nationality? I'm always gonna ask, no matter what.
Give me a hug. I'm about to go.
Sister, we gotta
Hey,
keep.
you can't give me a hug.
Hold on. Bring out 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. We got Nehemiah 8th chapter. It's the reason why we can't give you a hug, right?
Y'all can't give me a hug?
Hold on, we gotta do everything decently in order.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. And it reads, let all things be done decently and in order.
Bring out Sirach 8 and 11. There's certain things we got, or Sirach 9 and 11. Certain things we gotta be done decently in order. One, we don't know if you're married. What if your husband come up and say, "What the hell's going on?" Now we all look bad.
We got an order on my part.
Well, see,
you
that's
know
why
it
that's why we
it's
telling you.
love.
That's why we telling you. We understand that. That's why we telling you. Bring out Sirach 9 and 9.
This is the book of Sirach chapter 9 and verse 9. And it reads, sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thy arms.
Right, because anything can happen. You see the movies and TV shows, but we understand, but we're telling you as an example, in the movies and TV shows, what happens when a man and his best friend is married, which is a girl, they're just out for late night drinks. They wake up in the bed with a hangover, talking about what happened last night. It'll only stay between us. That's the type of stuff that happens when a man is with another woman, right?
All right.
And look, that stuff kind of start off with hugs.
A
can start-
brother and sister, like, no, bro.
Well, that's why we got to try the spirits too. You don't know us. We don't really know you like that. We bring out
I
the
don't know
scriptures.
y'all. I don't know you. You don't know me, but
Exactly.
trust
That's why
me,
we
I'm
keeping
coming
everything
from a-
decently in order.
That's fine. All right.
We'll do this fine. All right. All right. So all things has to be done decently in order.
Nice talking to y'all.
All right. All praise the Most High. With that, I'm up.